guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lena. If you guys are new, I haven't done a fashion video in so long and I'm super excited for this one. I've gotten so many questions on how to keep cool while you're dressing modestly during the summer. It's probably like I even get these questions during the winter time, like literally all year round, like how do you stay cool? So I've done a ton of research. I'm super excited to share with you guys my tips and hacks, and let's get started. My first tip is to wear long, loose, flowing silhouettes. And I was actually really surprised by this because a lot of the articles that I was reading whenever I was doing research were recommending wearing long sleeves and long pants during the summer, which I always thought, like someone who dresses modestly, I thought I was always more hot than someone who was wearing like, you know, tank tops or short sleeves, but that's not necessarily the case. And I learned that it's because with longer, looser like sleeves and pants, it allows for more airflow around your body. It ultimately makes you more cool. So I thought that was really interesting. My first tip is to wear more flowy silhouettes like maxi dresses and maxi skirts and wide leg pants during the summer, because that's definitely going to allow for more airflow around your body and it's going to allow for sun protection as well. One other thing that I kind of learned that I was doing wrong was with maxi dresses like this, whenever I would like layer underneath, I would always put like leggings underneath, but that is ultimately going to cause you to not have that airflow around your body. So if you can find lined dresses or lined skirts that's going to still allow for the airflow, that will be better than wearing leggings. So I just wanted to mention that as well. My second tip is to choose lightweight layers. So layering is very intimidating in the summer because you can definitely add extra warmth to your outfit with layers, but there is a right way to do it. So you want to look for pieces that are unlined. That is just going to make sure that things are a lot more breathable and you'll have more flowing fabrics around your body rather than things that are going to trap the heat and keep you warm. So that's my first tip. So I always look for like unlined dusters or blazers that you can add an extra level of modesty over your outfit, but then you don't have that extra lining that's going to keep you too warm. Tip number 3 is to look at what your clothing is made of and choose fabrics that are more lightweight and natural in material. So those can be things like cotton and linen, and these materials are going to be a lot more breathable. They're going to allow a lot more air circulation to your skin. I did want to mention that since like light colors in these materials can be see-through, we get hot whenever we start layering things underneath to make them more opaque. I wanted to tell you guys how to choose the best undershirts and undergarments for these types of pieces so that we don't just sweat ourselves out. As I was doing my research, the best material for an undershirt that I have found is a more natural fabric blended with a synthetic. My favorite undershirts in my closet I found are more like a cotton or a viscose blended with elastane. The elastane is the material that makes your items more stretchy and it has some sweat wicking properties, so you really get the best of both worlds with the cotton that's more like breathable and allows you to have that airflow, along with the synthetic that allows for the sweat wicking. So those are my tips for undergarments. I'm going to go ahead and link below the ones that I can find that are in the best materials. They're definitely harder to find, but those are the tips that I would look out for when you're searching for undergarments. My next point is materials to avoid during the summertime, and there's the obvious ones like suede, knitwear, wool, cashmere, velvet, like all of those like obviously thicker materials we want to avoid during the summertime. But there's also those that are a little bit more tricky, like the synthetic materials like 100% polyester. They look and feel a lot more lightweight, but in reality they don't have that airflow, they're not as breathable, and they can actually trap bacteria, which is why there's some like 100% polyester shirts that will make you stink more, even if, you know, other clothing items don't do that to you. It's because of the material. So I definitely wanted to mention that. I also want to put a little disclaimer on 100% polyester, because nowadays a lot of the 100% polyester materials have gotten a lot better, especially in like activewear where things are a lot more sweat wicking and cooling on the skin. So unless something is labeled as like a performance fabric or like an athletic fabric, I would just try to stay away from 100% polyester. I wanted to mention this because this is a blouse that I had in my closet that looks like super lightweight and something that you would wear in the summertime, but whenever I looked at the contents of the material, it's 100% polyester, which is something that will definitely not have that breathability. This is something that's gonna make me stink more because it does hold onto bacteria. And since it's like a high neck and something that I would probably tuck in to a pair of pants or something, there's just not much flowy breathability really with this top. So I just wanted to point that out, that things may look like they are breathable and like perfect for the summertime, but you definitely have to look at your fabric contents to make sure. One more thing about polyester. So there are a lot of like lightweight flowy dresses that might be 100% polyester, and since they are more flowy and they do give that airflow underneath your clothes, I would say it would still be okay to wear that and you may not feel that it makes you any hotter. I would just avoid like 100% polyester like blouses or things that really like trap the heat without allowing that airflow. So as I was doing my research about fabric materials, I was like so confused about polyester versus natural materials versus, so it can get very confusing, but those are just some of the points that I found as I was researching. Other materials to avoid include denim for obvious reasons. It's just a lot thicker. It's not going to be as breathable as like a thinner material. Another material that is actually a natural fiber that I try to avoid is silk. I actually wore like a long sleeve 100% silk maxi dress to an event one time and I had the worst pit stains ever. So I would totally recommend just trying to avoid 100% silk. The alternative to that is satin, but then again, satin is also usually made with 100% polyester, so you just need to keep that in mind as well. You want to make sure that those materials are a lot flowier to allow more airflow because it can trap the heat. Tip number 5 is to try to avoid wearing darker colors in the summer, because darker colors like black and navy, they absorb the heat from the sun when you're outside, and just the opposite, the lighter colors will kind of reflect the light and ultimately keep you cooler during the summer months. So my wardrobe is kind of light and airy all year round, but it definitely comes in handy during the summertime because it keeps me nice and cool. Number 6, I wanted to mention the fabric materials to look for with your hijab. It kind of goes along with the fabric materials to look for with the rest of your clothes, but I wanted to mention the fabric materials that I wear in particular during the summer that really keep me cool. So I love going for the chiffons just because they're a lot more lightweight and breathable. There's not as much material around your neck at all. Materials like Viscose and Modal are actually even more breathable and sweat wicking than cotton because they're more of like a synthetic blend, and so I learned that today, which I thought was really nice. I also do wear jersey sometimes in the summer as well, but you want to make sure that the jersey is on the thinner side because once you get into those thicker jerseys, that can definitely keep you a lot warmer and you can just feel like you have a lot more material around your neck. Something interesting I also learned is that you lose heat from your feet and your head, so making sure that your hijab material is lightweight and breathable is super key. So I would say chiffon, Viscose and Modal, and lightweight jersey. Just avoid anything blended with like wool, like pashmina. I cannot even imagine wearing those materials during the summertime. So just stick with your lighter weight materials and you will be good to go. My next tip is to avoid unnecessary layers. So I like to buy the sleeveless undershirts or sleeveless blouses like this to wear underneath my long sleeve layers. So I'll put like an unlined trench and then I'll wear one of these underneath, and that way I don't have like long sleeves underneath my trench during the summertime. It's just a lot more breathable and just so much cooler. So I wanted to mention that as well, and I will try to link some of these below. My next tip is to wear sun hats. These are actually really practical because they protect you from the sun. You always just want to make sure that your hats are more of like a breathable natural material, like a straw hat. You want to avoid anything like felt hat or anything that's meant for the winter time because that's definitely going to trap heat. You do not want that during the summer. If you're going on vacation, these are so super cute to wear with all of your flowy dresses, and like I said, are super practical because they do protect you from the sun. I did want to share with you guys how to style one of these with a hijab, so I thought I would do that right now. The key to wearing a hat with your hijab is making sure that your bun is super low, as you can get it. That way the hat like sits properly on your head. That way it's not standing up and just making you look weird. So low bun. Then what I do is I just go ahead and drape my scarf with 2 equal sides, and then I go ahead and just place, I think the bow goes on the back on this hat. Then I just place my hat on. You want it to feel natural. Like I said, you don't want it to feel like it's sticking up at all. And then I always just take each side of my scarf and flick it to the back. That is how I wear my hats with my hijab. My last tip is to choose the appropriate footwear. Footwear is actually huge because you lose your body heat through your feet and through your head. It's kind of the same way as like wearing socks to bed. A lot of people have to take them off so they feel cool when they sleep. So it's kind of the same concept. You want to avoid closed toe leather shoes. This is going to trap your body heat. Just wearing like more like open toe sandals, like flat sandals, heel sandals, is just going to allow for more airflow and make you feel a lot cooler during the summer. Those are all of my tips and hacks during the summertime to keep you cool. If you guys have any more tips or hacks, leave them down below so we can all learn from you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!